I am your host, Phil Rosenberg, and I have a very special show for you this evening. My guest tonight is someone that you may well have seen around. He is a very well-known dancer. His name is Dickson Mbi. He's a choreographer as well. He graduated from Lewisham College and the London Contemporary School of Dance. He studied jazz, ballet, and contemporary dance. He's been featured in some major TV commercials and performed with the Black Eyed Peas, one of my favorite bands, Basement Jazz, Shalama, and Robbie Williams, among many others. Really a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for joining me today. What a privilege.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Thank you for
man.
having me, brother.
It's the pleasure is absolutely mine. Really, I don't say that for all of my guests, but tonight it is really true. So
Thank you.
I want to start off talking about what you're known best for, which I guess is your dancing, right? Or is that not
Yeah, I
true?
mean, no, it is true. I'm best known for dancing and nowadays a lot of choreography of what I do, but mainly in the contemporary dance world, mainly for dancing for um, Russell Malaphant Dance Company because I was in that company on and off for 8 years. Russell Malaphant is like a world-renowned British Canadian contemporary dance choreographer.
So let me ask you then: is hip hop much different in the States than it is in the UK?
It's quite different here because I think the UK started getting like hip hop uh, feeling later, like late 90s. I mean, we always heard American music, but I think around that time, there was not so many hip hop dancers, you know. There were people that were doing breaking, break beats, funk styles. There's a lot of poppers. I think Jeffrey Daniels, Charlemagne, the group that I performed for, Jeffrey Daniels is a good friend of mine. He was the first person to bring pop in to the UK when he did a night to remember on Top of the Pops, 1986. That was like a year after I was born. I was 1 years old. So yeah, everything came later to the UK.
Let me just mention this. In July 2019, you played Lee in Dragon Spring
Oh
Phoenix
yeah,
Rise, which
yeah,
is a kung fu musical that was performed in the Shed, which most people here in the States know, or if you're in New York, you know that that's the performance space in Hudson Yards in New York City. So tell me about that. How was that experience like? And do you
yeah.
miss
Man, it was
being
a
in New
great.
York?
So that show came about, I think, in 2017. I think they spoke to my manager and my producer, Farouk Chowdhury. I think he's the one that sent them my video and stuff. I think he sent it to the writers, director Shishen Chang. He's an amazing guy. I still keep in touch with him now. And they saw my video with also the head of the shed. I think is Alex Pooks. And so they decided to cast me for it. I think myself and DPK, David Patrick Kelly, I think that's his name, DPK, and we were the two people that was the first cast because he was playing the master and I was playing Lee, the antagonist, so to speak. And then yeah, and it was a really cool experience, and I got to learn martial art. We went to China.
Do you still practice martial arts now?
Yeah, yeah, now and then, not too much. Now and
Not
then, it's quite
religiously.
hard on the body.
We mentioned at the top of the show that you're now working on the production Enawate.
Yeah.
Let me give you a chance to really dig into that and tell us about it. What should we expect?
The idea came from in 2016. I went to Cameroon for the first time since leaving. I mean, I didn't leave Cameroon, to be honest. We moved here because my dad was a tailor. He had his own tailoring shop when he came to the UK to work. I think he was making a lot of British suits at the time. So when he came and he decided to bring his family all, and we all came here. So I lived here all my life. But when I went back, I've never been to the village where my parents were from. Uh, so I went back to judge a competition, a street
What's the
dance
name of the village, by
competition.
the way?
It's a place called My 19.
Okay.
It's hard to find, to be honest. The big town is called Mamfe. Our tribe are the Bayangi people. So we are the sub tribes of the Bantu tribe, the original Bantu tribes. So there's so many sub tribes of the Bantu tribes, but we are the Bayangis from the Southwest Province. Um, but anyway, I went there, and then when I got there, I was judging the competition, but an elderly person passed away. And unfortunately, I went with my mom. No, not unfortunately. Fortunately, I went with my mom. And then and she said she had to go to the village because if they found out she was here and she didn't go to the funeral, it would be a bad thing. So I said, okay, I'll just go with you just to check it out. I've never been. And I just went. The experience was so profound. But also, I've always had this animistic practice in my life. I mean, I'm vegan. I've been vegan 10, 11 years now. Um, but anyway, I've had this practice, but it was innately in me. But I didn't know until when I went back in 2016 and I realized certain things made sense. So when I got back, I was asked to do a show by a hip hop group called Boy Blue. And they were doing a show called Black, White, and Grey. And it was to do about this whole ancestral sort of thing. So it's kind of how serendipity work. I just came back from something that took me to my ancestors in a way. And then when I did this show, I got nominated for a few things for my performance in the show. I got nominated for an Olivier Award. I've kind of felt like I released a lot of those energies. When after the show finished, um, I never felt like it was actually all of it was actually out of me. So I had to research more about it.
Mm.
So me and my team, we talked about how we can bring some of those elements into this next performance, this next show I'm working on. So it's all the journey of this show is about a person going through so many different things to realize who they are. And through that journey, they experience a two-headed snake, a tiger. It's not a narrative story. A lot of it are metaphors and a lot of it are concepts. So that's what you expect in terms of the conceptual thinking. But in terms of the performance, you just see good dancing, I think, and a good performance from myself.
Dickson, I want to thank you so much. Really, it's been a pleasure. I can't wait till you're able to come back to New York, and I'll definitely come check out another one of your shows. I'm really excited, and I miss the stuff that you deliver. I really do. So I want to thank you again.
Thank you, man.
Pleasure is mine.
Follow us on, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Dickson
What
MBI.
is your
Same name.
Instagram?
Dickson MBI. Instagram, Twitter, Dickson MBI. So MBI. That's how you say it. That's how you write it if you want. Or you can just say Dickson B.
Thanks again, Dickson. It's been a real pleasure, and looking forward to talking to you soon.
Yes, brother. Have a good one, mate. Ta.